I don't have to spell this out to you, but South Africa is facing an unemployment crisis. One of the biggest challenges is the youth trying to get work experience on their CVs. Well, the Basic Education Department's Employment Initiative hopes to lend a helping hand. It is looking to place over 280,000 young people in schools for 5 months. To date, they have received 2.7 million applications. Tomorrow is the deadline for Phase 2. Now, for more on this, spokesperson for Basic Education Department, Mhlanga, he joins us now. A very good morning to you, Elijah, and thank you so much for joining us. So this is for 5 months. Are you then putting a Band-Aid over a wound, or are you hoping that after the 5 months, you will have an idea of how then to deal with the problem long term?
Good morning, Matobi. Well, the idea is that we want to focus on training. It's about training. It's not just about the job opportunities themselves. The phase 2 of the employment initiative is really a continuation of phase 1, which was hugely successful. It gave young people skills that they did not already have. And we hope that the skills that they obtained will be able to give them a sense that a sense of continuity in terms of what they learn and what they can use it going forward. We know that a lot of them were able to create opportunities for themselves after they got together with other young people that they met in the schools where they were placed, and they were able to create organizations and other businesses which they are using going forward. So it's really not about the 5 months. It's about what happens after the 5 months using the skills that you would have obtained during the training program.
So what does happen after the 5 months? Will there be permanent positions for the people who would have, gotten the necessary experience and have shown that, they are perhaps great candidates to be filling the positions that are open in the department?
Based on the experience of the first phase, we saw that some young people were taken permanently in the schools where they were placed because most of them, they came with qualifications in teaching, and the schools absorbed them. And they were able to secure the employment which would otherwise not have come if it were not for the initiative which created the opportunity for them to apply and be located in a school where they live. So we hope that the others, for example, the general assistants, will use the skills that they have in terms of plumbing, upholstery, and painting, and all the other things that they do in the school to keep the school in a good physical shape, that they will take that experience, get together, form cooperatives or even form companies, and then be able to provide those types of services in their immediate vicinity. So it's really about getting them busy, stimulating their thoughts, and giving them ideas on how they can meaningfully contribute to developing their community, but also earning an honest income.
I wouldn't want to believe, Mr. Mhlanga, that there are people who, don't want to be working, and I wouldn't want to believe that there are, institutions in this country that don't need people. So why has it taken an initiative that has gotten such a great response from South Africans for you guys to get people into schools, general assistants, teacher assistants? Why has it taken this initiative? Because surely this is a problem that has been happening for a very long time.
No, you're correct. Let's talk about the response first. In fact, I heard you say 2.7 million. The numbers by yesterday, they were at 5.5 million applications that were received from young people across the country. And that actually confirms the point that we are making, that there's a lot of young people who are desperate for employment. The Department of Basic Education did not already have this budget. This was a presidential youth initiative created to bring relief to young South Africans, especially because of the pressures that were brought on us by COVID-19. And Treasury made a budget available. In the first phase, it was 7 billion. And now we've been given another amount of money. And that money is not perpetual. I mean, it's to cover a certain period and a certain number of people. So we have been successful in the basic education sector in running this particular initiative to the extent that we're given a second opportunity to run it. So we are grateful for this opportunity because anyway, schools needed additional personnel for them to be able to run smoothly in the context of the crisis brought on us by COVID-19. So we appreciate that this initiative has been given to us, and we needed people desperately for us to be able to make sure that teachers are supported, for schools to be fixed, for social distancing to be maintained, and for people to be able to monitor that so that we are able to continue with the recovery program of the curriculum that we have since lost in the past 18 months. So that's what we are doing in the sector. We work with what we are given, and we hope that it will continue so that it becomes sustainable.
We desperately needed people, is what you just said. How bad was the situation? How dire was the situation? How empty were schools? How desperate were schools needing these general assistants and teacher assistants?
No, it was a desperate situation. You know, COVID-19 showed us a lot of things that we needed to fix in the sector, and this initiative has assisted in some way to bring those additional people into the school. Well, teachers came under a lot of pressure because we were not bringing our learners at once all at the same time, which is something that we were used to. The system has been designed that way. But now we had to rotate. Rotating means that some learners are not in school in certain days, which means there has to be packages or packs that are created for learners to take home so that they do that work while they're home. And when they come back, they come with a lot of work which must be checked by teachers. And that one teacher who's responsible for teaching and checking that work, it becomes an overload. That's why we felt that, teacher assistants are then able to do that work, also do homework support, help teachers as well with assessments and all other tasks that a teacher would not be able to do because the crisis has just complicated their life. So now we have that part taken care of. But the other part is the physical environment, checking that there are markings on the ground, that the school is fully compliant in terms of COVID-19 regulations, health and safety regulations and protocols are in place, checking learners as they come to school every day, making sure that all of them have a mask, they're screened for their temperatures and that they keep social distancing during the day, but that all windows as well are fixed and that there's good ventilation and that during the breaks, learners are compliant to social distancing. All of that work would not have been able to happen if the additional people were not there, because the teachers are running around trying to do everything. And even in the morning when learners walk in, it takes a much longer time now because you need to make sure that everyone is checked, everyone has a mask and all those things that you need to do before they can walk into the school. So it's a lot of work that needed a lot more people, and we are happy that through this initiative, we have those people.
Well, Elijah, thank you very much. And long may an initiative of this nature continue because, of course, as we mentioned, unemployment in this country is a huge crisis. Thank you so much for joining us on Newslink here on ENCA. That is the spokesperson for the Department of Basic Education, Elijah Mhlanga, who, of course, did correct my intro at the beginning where I said it's 2.7 million applications they've received. He says it's now gone up, as of yesterday, to 5 million. That gives you a picture of just how bad the unemployment situation in this country is. Well,